All right, motherfucks. I have to make this video before Friday, before SmackDown, because I'm sure we're going to find out more about what's going to happen. But I wanted to make this video to actually talk about the build that could still happen for the SmackDown main event at WrestleMania. Clearly, WWE went a different direction. I would have wanted to see Edge versus Orton because I believe it would be a logical conclusion to their feud, and it would be a good WrestleMania main event. Not just a good one to watch, but because it would be a good one to watch based on their last match, but also a good one in the context of time, right? Like if you look back 5 years from now, you're like, oh, that's the one where Edge and Randy Orton main evented. It's gonna seem badass, right? You know when you go back to like a WrestleMania, and it was like main evented by like Bam Bam Bigelow. You're like, oh, that's weird. I mean, rest in peace, Bam Bam, but you know what I mean, right? Like it would fit that criteria. But obviously, WWE has not gone with that route. They have gone with the worst route possible for Randy Orton, which is fighting The Fiend. And Roman Reigns and Edge is obviously a fresh matchup because it involves Edge. The match, however, does have, I think, potential flaws. So I'm going to compare this match to a match like Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, right? I believe that this match has the same problem. This match will eventually turn into a running contest to see who hits the spear. Most likely. They might pull one over our heads. They might do a situation where it turns to like a submission type thing, let's say. Right? Kind of like Edge versus Undertaker, where the whole story was like Taker was beating the shit out of Edge, but Edge always had an answer to every move that Taker had until he hit him with a Hell's Gate. Right? So, there you go, right? It could turn into something different. I'm not saying it's written in stone, but most likely it's going to turn into a battle of the spear. Roman Reigns has a really good spear. Edge has arguably the worst spear in history. Big E has a better spear than both of them because he does it on the apron. So it's like, it draws away from this. Lashley has a better spear than Edge, and maybe a better spear than Roman Reigns. I'm not sure about that. But the point is, the Battle of the Spear is not as interesting as it should be, right? Now, based on what happened at Fastlane in the excellent main event match, Daniel Bryan, in my opinion, should be added to this match. Number one, it's too late to find something meaningful for Daniel Bryan to do at WrestleMania, right? You could put him in like the Battle Royal or something, have him win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but that's about it. That's about all you can do. There's no time for him to have a feud, Furthermore, his performance in the match, right, which was excellent. He didn't do any botches. He made everything believable. So did Roman Reigns, by the way. Let's give credit to Roman Reigns. There was a part in the match where Daniel Bryan ran on the apron and jumped and kneed Roman Reigns in the face. And Roman Reigns didn't even look at Daniel Bryan. He was looking straight ahead, and he could probably barely see the knee. And he just took the knee like a champ and sold it like a beast. So good for him, right? But Daniel Bryan, in the context of the story, this is not over, motherfucks. At first, Daniel Bryan had a legitimate gripe against Roman Reigns because he won the extremely grueling Elimination Chamber match, and then he was beaten up by Roman Reigns. Even though he had an opportunity there to put the yes log on him, he was beaten and bloodied by Roman Reigns, and more importantly, his opportunity was robbed from him. The same thing can be said about fucking Fastlane. Edge, this time, robbed Daniel Bryan of his opportunity. Edge did it, motherfucks. Edge robbed him. In my opinion, Edge turned heel at Fastlane. I don't know how they're going to present it this Friday, but in my opinion, Edge turned heel because he basically said, I don't give a fuck about you guys. This is my moment. Now, he's like a justifiable heel, right, because he got attacked by Daniel Bryan, and they might even spin it as he didn't do it on purpose or whatever, right? Like he didn't know Daniel Bryan was about to win. But the facts are what the facts are. He interfered in the match and did the opposite of what he was meant to do, which was make it fair. He made it unfair. So now Daniel Bryan's argument for WrestleMania, and this argument almost always wins. We all know this, right? Like the guy that gets screwed the month before WrestleMania is always like, yo, motherfucker, you screwed me. I want another chance. And then it'll be like, oh, Daniel Bryan, you have to, if you want to win, you got to win this gauntlet match or something. And he's going to do that, and he's going to be in the match. But the facts are what the facts are. Daniel Bryan has a legitimate argument as to why he should be in the match. And what I want to talk about today, aside from just generally the match, I want to talk about the fact that I believe this match will benefit tremendously by adding Daniel Bryan. Now, some people may think that if you add Daniel Bryan, who also has a running attack finisher, the flying knee, all this does is add another flying attack to be dodged, right? And I agree. However, the fact that there's 3 people there could really change the way this match ends, considering that they all have a running attack finisher and an out-of-nowhere finisher, if you will. Furthermore, they all have like a secondary finisher, basically, that is like a submission move. So you have the yes lock, the guillotine choke, and the anti-venom on the fucks, yeah, that Edge does now. So they have these things. There's a lot of room here for that. The only problem is Daniel Bryan didn't really earn it. I mean, like he has an argument for it, but he didn't really earn it, right? He didn't earn it like Edge earned it. You know what I mean? Like, why would Edge win the Royal Rumble when all he has to do is win one Elimination Chamber match and then lose 2 more matches, right? Like, Daniel Bryan did lose to Roman Reigns twice. So it's like the argument of he still deserves a chance is a little silly. But from a kayfabe perspective, it helps the storyline go together. Just the promos that can be cut in the next 2 weeks could be amazing. Daniel Bryan can come out on SmackDown and say, Edge, you said you were going to make the match fair. You said you were there so I could get a fair shake. Ironically, Edge, you fucked me. You were the one who took away my fair chance. And you need to answer for this. And I challenge you, Edge, for your spot at Wrestlemania or something on SmackDown. I don't know. Right? Something like that. Then Edge could come out and say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of you 2 jabrones, right? Trying to take over my moment. I don't care that Roman Reigns is champion. His days are numbered. He is relevant because I've chosen him as my opponent at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan, you're no better either, Edge could say. He could be like, I'm the one who's going to challenge Roman Reigns. The match is set in stone, yet here you are like an annoying gnat just fucking getting in my way and ruining my momentum. This is my time, you know? And then Roman Reigns can come out and do his whole shtick. Like, I'm the head of the table. Yeah, you know? So, like, that's what I'm getting at, right? There's definitely some elements here where it's possible that the story could be significantly benefited by adding Daniel Bryan as a character. And now, believe you me, motherfucks, just because I thought Daniel Bryan had a stellar performance, I'm not all of a sudden a Daniel Bryan fan. No. Best believe. Like, I believe Daniel Bryan is a sentimental favorite to win the title now. Like, I think that, for example, most children are going to want Bryan to win. I believe I want Edge to win because I think that's a more compelling champion. You know? And I want to see more of Edge. And also want Edge to be champion. Again. So, that's that. But the facts are, motherfuckers, what the facts are. Okay? The facts are that we need a champion that's good, but we also need this champion that's good to win it in a meaningful way. As I said on my review video, the match was presented in a way where Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns were presented as equals. Roman Reigns almost beat Daniel Bryan with a spear, but the ref wasn't there. Daniel Bryan beat him by submission, but the ref wasn't there. Daniel Bryan had a 1-up because he had him in the crossface until Jey Uso saved his ass. And then Roman Reigns had the other 1-up because after Edge beat them both with a chair, he's the one who pinned Daniel Bryan. So I believe that they have been booked as equals as best as they can. Even Cucky Graves said so. He was like, both of these men have wrestled a perfect match. That was the idea behind that. The idea was these guys have wrestled as well as they can, and here's where we are. And when he said that, they were both on the ground, hurt, right? The idea was like they're so equal, but so different. And that's what makes things awesome. That's why the match was great, primarily. Because they're so, like, you know how they say in MMA, like styles make matches, right? This is exactly that, but in wrestling. Styles do make matches. That's why Roman Reigns is great. Because as an actual in-ring performer. He's not over, but he's great as an in-ring performer. Because he can adjust his style to fit all different styles. Like, obviously, Daniel Bryan can't have this match with Brock Lesnar. Obviously, he can't have this match with, I don't know, most people. He can have this match with Sheamus. Like, he can't have this match with Cesaro, right? Cesaro is presented as technically being on the same level, basically, as Daniel Bryan, almost. Right? He can have this match with someone like Roman Reigns. Someone who's not presented as being, like, super technical, but he's tough, you know? So there you go. Great match. So that should be the foundation of this match. And then Edge is the third man, the guy that is going to hopefully win the match, and the ultimate opportunist. Which brings me to the main point of why it's important to have the third person in the match to make it a triple threat. Edge is and always will be known primarily as the ultimate opportunist, right? Edge cannot be the ultimate opportunist, number one, when he's a face, right? That's just doesn't fit the character. Sometimes he can, like if he's like a funny face, like if he's like a Mr. Anderson type face, like during that time of Edge. Like when Edge, for example, would kidnap Paul Bearer to fuck with Kane, but it didn't matter because Kane was like so evil that like kidnapping Paul Bearer means nothing. Paul Bearer is like done horrible shit, you know? So he could still be an opportunist, but be a face. But generally, this is a heel gimmick. Now, in order for it to be a heel gimmick, Edge has to be a reason to be a heel. He's not going to be the heel when Reigns is the heel. But if Daniel Bryan is the face, this opens the door for Edge to come in as a tweener. As a tween, motherfucks. As a in-between between a heel and a face. And the story of the match then becomes, Edge, which way will he go? Will he be a face by the end of WrestleMania? Or will he be a heel? Which to me is almost as compelling as will he be champion. If anything, it's more compelling because it tells us where Edge is going to go in the future. I personally believe also that in a three-man match, it is so much easier to become an opportunist, right? So a perfect example would be the match could end like this. You could book the match, if it was a triple threat, to end like this. Daniel Bryan has Roman Reigns in the yes lock after a long and grueling match, and Roman Reigns is about to tap out, and we all know it. Edge breaks it up, right? Roman Reigns rolls out, Edge and Daniel Bryan start wrestling. No fucking, what's it called? No DQs in a triple threat. So Bryan and Edge are wrestling. Roman Reigns gets up, gets a chair, beats the shit out of both of them, especially Edge, who rolls out of the ring. Now it's the last moments of the match. He beats Bryan with a chair, like mercilessly, right? And he gets ready for a spear. Bryan hooks him up in the labella, in the yes lock again, but he does it using the chair, somehow, right? Maybe putting the chair across his face, and he has him in this super painful labella lock with the chair. And then Edge comes into the, like he's about to win. We're talking seconds away. Edge comes in with another chair, boom, concerto, using the chair Daniel Bryan is holding and the chair that Edge is holding to sandwich both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Then people boo because this is like a heel move, and he pins Daniel Bryan. Perfect. Perfect ending, right? He turns heel, right? And he is the ultimate opportunist. He uses the opportunity of Daniel Bryan so close to winning, Roman Reigns being incapacitated, all of them being beaten, and the fact that there's already a chair set up for him to do the one-man concerto. He hits the concerto, and that's it. That should be the end of the match. And then Edge gets the title, and he he looks at it, and instead of like crying like tears of joy, he does like evil heel Edge face. You all know what I'm talking about. That face he does, that like ha 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 face, Then he's like, yeah, I did it, right? And he goes away. Then you can have whatever match you want afterwards. Then we get heel Edge back, we get champion Edge back, we get ultimate opportunist back, and we probably get a better match. So, in summation, the reason why the main event, or whatever, the SmackDown main event at least, should be, in my opinion, motherfucks, a triple threat match is because, number one, it gives Daniel Bryan something to do that's prominent. 2, it makes sense storyline-wise for Daniel Bryan. 3, motherfucks, the promo work could be amazing between the three of them, even though we only have like 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever the fuck it is. 4, the match will be better, which is the most important thing. 5, the possibilities are greater. 6, it allows us to have Edge set up different feuds in the future. 7, cucks, it allows Edge to possibly channel his ultimate opportunist personality in a myriad of ways, but in ways that actually work. 8, it provides the opportunity for Edge to be presented as a heel going on to WrestleMania. 9, it presents the opportunity, motherfucks, for Edge to be presented as a tween on the way to WrestleMania, which would be the way to go. Like you have the heel Roman Reigns, you have the face Daniel Bryan, and you have Edge. Who knows where he's going to go? Probably where opportunity leads him, motherfucks. And that leads us to reason 10. It allows us to have WrestleMania conclude in a memorable way, with Edge not just winning, but reverting back to being a heel, reverting back to the ultimate opportunist persona, right? That's the Edge we want to see. You know, I'm very happy that Face Edge came back, because Face Edge is someone that is capable of winning the Royal Rumble, coming in at number 1 or number 2. Heel Edge is not capable of doing that. Heel Edge is only capable of winning by coming in at number 30 or number 28 or something like that, and then hiding, being sneaky, and then coming from behind and throwing someone over, right? So Face Edge winning the Rumble is the perfect booking mechanism to have Edge turn heel at WrestleMania. Because even though I believe he turned heel last night, this is those kind of heel turns that could be justified. He could be like, I didn't know, Daniel. I didn't know. And then the next time, next Friday after WrestleMania, he can be like, I knew all along. This was my plan. I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to insert you into the match because I thought it'd be easier to win with you in it versus you out of the match, Daniel Bryan. And I proved right when I concertoed you and I pinned you 1, 2, 3 to become a 14-time world champion. Everything I've wanted to achieve, I've achieved, and now no one can stop me. I'm back, motherfucks. That would be perfect. That would go down as one of the greatest booking decisions in recent memory in WWE. Maybe ever, if they do it like I say. Because that is compelling. It is compelling character work, and it leaves the door open. Edge can then have a feud with Daniel Bryan, right? For the title, and then maybe if Roman Reigns has gotten over a bit, you can do Edge versus Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is the face because he's going to turn face eventually, you know. And the question is quite simple: what will Roman Reigns do when he's not champion? I'll tell you what, motherfucks, he'll turn face. If they're smart and they can get Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar comes in and attacks Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman says, "You're not good enough, Roman. Brock is back. I hate you," right? And that sets up Brock versus Roman Reigns, which is a match that people would still want to see. Or if you can't get Brock, you just get someone else and make them the new Paul Heyman guy. You know, eventually Roman Reigns is going to have to turn face. If you ask me, this has gone far too long. Perfect way to end Roman Reigns' heel run is right now at WrestleMania. He's not over. It didn't work. A lot of people think that because people boo him, that now he's over as a heel. He's not over as a heel. He's still shit. So that's what I think I would do, right? And you could even have a long program. The amount of long programs you can have with Edge as champion is substantial. But this will only work if Edge, in my opinion, turns heel at WrestleMania or shortly thereafter, hopefully at WrestleMania. This is an opportunity to do something memorable with Edge. You had last year's WrestleMania where he was a goody two-shoes face and he beat Randy Orton. It doesn't matter now if he becomes the champion as a face. He needs to be a heel. And a heel needs a face. And the face in this case has to be Daniel Bryan because he was screwed twice. I think I've just booked the best WrestleMania main event in a long time, motherfucks. But only if it goes my way. I don't give a shit if they do a triple threat and it doesn't go like I said. Unless it goes better, of course, then that's even better. But that's the way it needs to go. Cannot, I repeat, cannot continue to have this kind of horseshit booking and expect people to be excited. Like after what I just said in this video, I just thought right now, oh, but it could also be Roman Reigns versus Edge at WrestleMania. I don't want to see that. I don't think it's going to be a great match. It could be, but I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be boring. You know, it's going to be like who can hit the spear first. And not even first because they're going to kick out of 19 spears each. You know? It's going to be like spear, kick out, spear, kick out, spear, kick out. Some weird shit's going to happen. Spear, pin. You know? So that's what I got to say about that. I think the correct choice is add Daniel Bryan. It also gives us 2 WrestleMania main events that are distinct. We have the inherently interesting Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre main event. This one becomes interesting only for one reason, and that is, will WWE do the intelligent thing and keep Lashley as champion, or will they do the stupid ass thing and make Drew McIntyre champion because he's the face and WrestleMania needs faces to win? You know, I believe Edge as a heel, Bobby Lashley as a heel, as champions, works wonders. You know, that's good wrestling, motherfucks. That's good wrestling. None of this other horse shit. So that being said, cucks, I know it's Wednesday, so tomorrow's video is going to be probably the AEW NXT review. But I had to do this video before Friday, you know. So there you have it, cucks. And also, motherfuckers, I know that we've been doing a video a day, and we're still not done. We got Hatermania. But lo and behold, our time with Hatermania is kind of going down soon. So soon enough, though, I'm close to 1,000 subs. Once I hit 1,000 subs, once I hit like 1,010 subs, because periodically YouTube takes away some of my subs, or some people unsubscribe. So I want to be slightly above 1,000 before I unveil the next plans for the Hater channel. That's right, motherfucks. Everything that I've promised is going to happen once I hit 1,000 subs. Hater Gaming, more videos about random shit. It's going to be amazing. But first, the experiment must be concluded. 1,010 subs or so, and we're done. And at 1,000 subs, or 1,010 subs, I'm going to do a Q&A. So get your questions ready. Write them in the comments. But better yet, email your boy at indiewrestlingsucks@gmail.com. Email the hater at indiewrestlingsucks@gmail.com. Unfortunately, I haven't really been responding to the emails that I've been getting, so I'm very sorry about that, guys and gals. But I have tried to incorporate a lot of the things that people have told me. So someone told me they'd like to see me make a certain video. I forgot what it was about, but I did it. You know what I mean? I made the video. I didn't explain. I didn't respond to the person, but I made the video. So hopefully you guys have some good questions for me. That video is going to be as long as it needs to be. So stay tuned for that. Soon enough. It's going to be after I have 1,000 subs. If somehow I get 1,000 subs before WrestleMania, it's probably going to be after WrestleMania. So keep that in mind. Cucks, just write the questions here or email me at indiewrestlingsucks.com. And also, we're finally doing it. We're bringing back subscriber shoutouts, motherfucks. We're bringing back subscriber shoutouts. So any new subscriber is going to get a shoutout. But just in case I miss you, if you subscribe, write in the comments, hey, I've subscribed, and I'll give you a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't get to see all my subscribers. Some of them are hidden, all that other shit. Plus, I ain't no expert. Yeah. So there you have it, cucks. That being said, see you motherfucks tomorrow when the Wednesday Night Wars continue. Hopefully the episodes today are pretty good and we get to be entertained a bit. I highly doubt it. NXT sucks. AEW sucks. SmackDown is kind of decent now, but we'll see what happens, motherfuckers. We'll see what happens. WrestleMania season. Let's get it, bitch boys!